That music even sounds outer spacey, doesn't it? You hear that? That whistling sound? Yeah. Richard. Yeah, it sounds like, outer space type music.
Our ears are specially designed to translate changing pressures traveling through the medium, like for example air or water. It also can be through a solid object. Since our atmosphere is filled with medium, which is air, we can hear acoustic waves. But as we go higher up into the atmosphere, air is getting thinner and sound fainter. There is a point where atmosphere just gets way too thin to carry a sound wave. There is no clear line where that happens, but it is around 100 kilometers or 62 miles. However, there are different types of waves which can travel without the need of medium. We can then translate these different waves into sounds that humans can hear. Let's take for example radio waves. You may be sitting in your car and hear no sound, right? But as soon as you turn your radio, your car stereo converts those radio waves into mechanical vibrations, also known as sound. We have various satellites in space, which have sensors that can detect radio and plasma waves going through vacuum. Here is a collection of various fascinating and spooky sounds in space. NASA's Juno spacecraft has crossed the boundary of Jupiter's immense magnetic field. This magnetic field is so big that if Jupiter's magnetosphere glowed invisible light, it could be twice the size of full moon as seen from Earth. Juno spacecraft recorded various sonic booms that were produced by solar wind hitting Jupiter's magnetosphere. In 1997, NASA launched plutonium-powered spacecraft, which orbited Saturn and its moons. This mysterious and scary audio track is actually radio waves being emitted by a giant planet through a phenomenon not too dissimilar to the one that causes auroras on Earth. Another from Saturn sound was captured by Cassini in 2006. And it shows how chaotic it's down there, deep in Saturn's atmosphere. That each small static spark that you hear represents a lightning strike. In 1977, scientists launched a space probe called Voyager 1. It is still operating, even though it is 45 years old. I wish my car was so well built. This probe is literally the most distant man-made object from Earth. At one point it reached the end of solar heliosphere. In human words, Sun's magnetic field. Of course, this event happened slowly, so this audio file that you hear is 7 months long data, compressed into 12 seconds of audio. The same Cassini spacecraft which was peeping all the time at Saturn, one time flew by Jupiter, that rascal. It caught a strange bird-like sounds. These are actual waves of solar wind-charged particles that fills the space between the Sun and its planets. In 2021, a space probe was doing a Jupiter mission. Once it passed Ganymede, which is a moon of Jupiter, it picked up these strange sounds. Another one. A NASA space telescope named Chandra studied the Perseus cluster. Clusters are structures made out of galaxies. It detected wave-like movements in the gas, propagating outwards like ripples in the water. The ripples, scientists determined, were produced by supermassive black hole. When the black hole sucks in cosmic material, it spits some out that pushes around the gas nearby. Those gases create waves with extraordinary low frequencies. Interesting is that even though space doesn't have medium, galaxy clusters are surrounded by small amount of gas drifting all around it. The mighty black hole is able to create giant waves through this gas medium, creating one of the lowest frequency sounds. How low? Its frequency is 10 million years long. So if we were standing close to it, we wouldn't be able to hear such low frequency sound. So scientists translated this ultra low note into 144 quadrillion and 288 quadrillion times higher note. Another interesting one happened recently, when scientists have picked up repetitive radio signals from a galaxy billions of light years from Earth. The fastest radio bursts only last a few milliseconds. But this one was quite strange. It lasted for about 3 seconds, which is 1000 times longer than usual. One researcher said, not only was it very long, lasting about 3 seconds, but there was periodic peaks that were remarkably precise, emitting every fraction of a second. Boom, 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 like a heartbeat. This radio signal is the first one which exhibited such a precise rhythm. They believe that the suspect of the source could be neutron stars or pulsars, which are rotating neutron stars creating distinctive pulses. I have covered these pulsars and their sounds in some of my old videos, so I ain't gonna show it. Anyway, we have various sounds picked up out of space. But did you know that we have actual sounds from the surface of 3 planets? Actually, one is a moon. 40 years ago, Soviets were hell-bent on exploring Venus planet. They successfully landed 10 probes on the surface of the planet. Some of these probes took photos and managed to record the sound. You can clearly hear winds in the recording. The sound of probe landing. Now camera lens being ejected. And this sound is probe drilling into Venus surface. When you think about it, it is really crazy that we are hearing sounds from a location which would totally destroy us. Even though the probe was designed to be as sturdy as possible, it still lasted only 57 minutes in temperature of 465 degrees of Celsius and the pressure of 94 Earth atmospheres. So the pressure is equal to a pressure of 900 meters or 3000 feet below the surface of the ocean. Another planet that we got some sounds is Mars. This planet has a thinner atmosphere, which means that sound may sound muted. Let's listen to a sound of wind on Mars. This is the sound of rover driving on Mars. These metallic sounds are there because of the metallic wheels on the rover, and this is the sound of a small robotic helicopter called Ingenuity. What is also interesting is that due to thin Mars atmosphere, someone speaking next to you on Mars would sound as quiet as if they were talking 60 meters away. In 2005, Huygens probe descended to the surface of Titan. Titan is larger than planet Mercury and it is the second largest moon in our solar system. It is extremely cold. Its surface temperature is about negative 179 Celsius or minus 290 Fahrenheit. So even if there was water, it would be frozen solid. But there are lakes, rivers and waterfalls of liquid methane. When Huygens probe was falling through Titan's atmosphere, it recorded wind sounds. So what about the first recording in the video? In May 1969, the Apollo 10 astronauts were circling the moon. When they reached dark side of the moon, they heard strange sounds.
Used to keep it sounds outer spacey, doesn't it? You hear that? That whistling sound? Yeah.
These astronauts felt the sounds were so strange that they debated whether or not to tell the chiefs at NASA. They feared that they wouldn't be taken seriously and could be dropped from future space missions. One of explanations for the strange sounds is that noises likely came from interference caused by radios that were close to each other. Yes, these sounds don't have scary roars or alien signals, but when you think about it, about the unforgivable distant places full of mystery and cosmic power beyond comprehension, you start to view the sounds as spooky. If you know some interesting topics, comment below. I may cover them in the future videos. Thanks for watching.